My name is Elizabeth Ann Oglesby, was my maiden name, Haw. And I have been a member of the Albemarle Chapter since right before I got married in 1953, which means I've been in the chapter a very long time. Well, the chapter was organized in 1892 by Jane Woodburn Moran, Mrs. F. Berger Moran. And the first meeting was on February the 19th of the year of 1892. And we became the second chapter in Virginia. Beating out us was a chapter in Richmond, which got organized 3 weeks ahead of us and became number one. But we were also the 19th chapter in the nation. We've always worked with the veterans, certain amount of cooperation, I guess I want to say, with McGuire. And our chapter also volunteers at the local veterans clinic. Carol White saw a definite need and realized that it was something that we could do if we really stretched and tried. I think our original plan was 1 chair, and we're now up to 4. How lucky can you be? I can't think of any project that would be better.
I found out that not only daughters are interested in our history, but we are very interested in the present day history of our veterans and what the veterans presently, wherever they are doing for our country, and the ones who are no longer serving but are veterans, and they became very, very dear to our heart.
I grew up out in the country, and I didn't like to be in the house. So I joined the Army, and I went through a regular boot camp, Ranger school, medical school, jungle training, the whole thing. Learned several languages. Then I was attached to the 101st Airborne Rangers Special Ops. I was a combat medic, and we just had a small group of us. We couldn't, we went places that you can't talk about, nobody wants to hear. And I lost a lot of my good buddies over there, and being the medic doc, I felt like those are my guys. Those are my guys. And there's quite a few I couldn't help, but I saved a few. And got shot up going up through a jungle penetrator, taking a wounded guy out. And then I got shot again on another patrol.
I had seen on 60 Minutes a production about a track chair. I'd never heard of a track chair, and I was fascinated. And I thought, what a great thing. But they're very expensive, so I just sort of filed it away. When I was reading my monthly magazine from the Daughters of the American Revolution, they oftentimes interview people, daughters from various states, about the projects that they have done. So I ran across one that was talking about the West Virginia daughters and how they, statewide, had purchased a track chair for a veteran. I thought, if they can do it, Virginia can do it.
I came home and just decided I was going to do whatever I wanted to do. I've worked 2-3 jobs all my life. I've owned a welding company and managed several others. And I worked for a stint as a counselor at a halfway house for prison release guys and vets going through troubles. I loved that job, but I had to move back to Maine when my mother passed. And you look at the records, people make a big deal out of what what our guys did, but we were just doing our jobs. And I'm sure other vets will understand that. We weren't fighting for anything other than the guy next to you. And that's just the way it was.
I'm very proud to be a part of this because I feel very strongly, since we are the descendants of the people that got our first freedoms here, that it's really our responsibility to keep carrying that torch and recognize and honor in every way we can all of the men and women who have served in our nation to help us protect and keep these freedoms.
I've tried to go to groups with other vets, and I just can't do it. They gave me 70% disability, post-traumatic stress disorder, and that was just from them reading my records. And then, you know, I'm 100% because of my injuries. I had both knees shot out, this ankle shot. I've got a bullet in my hip, and I had a piece of shrapnel go through my arm, through there. But I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to leave. I don't know. It's strange, but other vets will know. Your job isn't done. That type of thing.
The idea of, you know, earning that amount of money to purchase one of those chairs, and they started about $15,000, just seemed like something that I didn't have any idea that we would ever be able to do it. But the board said, well, yes, and let's do it within our chapter. We don't need to go statewide. So formed a committee, and everybody got on board. We went out and started fundraising, and people were more than generous. And it just snowballed, and it has been an overwhelmingly successful project.
Once people sit in that chair or see the chair on a video and what it's done for people, it changes people into saying, oh, I want to be a part of making that happen for someone who really worked hard for our freedom.
I went to the interview with the ladies, and they were just a group of angels. I mean, these ladies take time to get donations, and I'm sure a lot of their donations come from them to do something for, you know, for a vet, you know, to these track chairs. I mean, they're amazing. They're totally amazing.
Most people have never heard of a track chair, so the educational process is a big step. And once you explain it to them and show them some pictures, they become more and more interested. And then you explain the fact that we have all of these veterans out there that, you know, are wheelchair bound. They cannot have a life. They can't go out and hunt. They can't go out and fish. They can't even go out in their backyards. Things that we all take for granted. So that's been a big eye-opener. And then once you explain it to people and they see the need, then they become very, very generous. That's been my experience.
I'm a hunter, and I love the outside. I cut my own wood. I usually have to have somebody else cut the tree down, but I can take it from there. When they brought that chair down and told me that I was the recipient, I still have a hard time because of, you know, well, why me? There's more worthy people. And it's still like, I'm in awe. I just can't understand how generous and caring these ladies are.
Yeah, the thing I appreciate most about Sam Bowen is his humility, that he keeps telling us over and over again that he feels he's not worthy, that it should be some other, maybe younger veteran. And I keep saying, Sam, there is no one more worthy than you with your 2 purple hearts. And I think the world of him, and I know he's going to appreciate it. And I told him to just use it to the full extent. I think he's going to have a lot of fun with it, and it, as he has said, life-changing.
And I never, in my wildest dreams, thought that I would be picked for it. But since I am, I'm very grateful. It's going to be a life changer. There's so much that I can do standing up. And I mean, it's like I said, I'm overwhelmed. I keep thinking of different things that I'll be able to do now, and it's just mind-boggling.
I see a man who gave up some of the best years of his life serving our country and serving it well, and he thought he had been forgotten. And I'm so pleased that we could make a difference in his life and allow him to enjoy that life.
We don't expect things like this. You know, we just don't. It's just a conditioning from not, you know, trying to stand on your own and do your own thing. You never think that anybody would donate something to you because of what you did and how you ended up. You know, it's a life changer being wounded. It does a lot to your thinking, your point of view, and to have someone donate one of these to even another vet that you know. It's incredible.
I think it's going to grow because people are going to know about the track chairs, and people are going to know what it takes to do a track chair, and that the project is doable.
I hope that anybody and everybody in any organization that ever hears or sees this, please give, donate, do something,
The veterans are out there that need these chairs, and my wish would be that not only other DAR chapters, but other organizations or other individuals pick up this project and run with it, because it's very doable and it can totally give somebody their life back. So please, please help our veterans out.
These things give us mobility beyond the wheelchair. We can get out in the woods and do what we go fishing or hunting, or just get out and just get out. So please, if anybody has any idea or wants to help somebody, this is a good cause, a worthy cause. I'm shocked that I was selected, but I'm awful grateful.
To all who shall see these presents greetings, know ye that reposing special trust and confidence in the fidelities and abilities of Joshua A. Burch, I do appoint this Marine a corporal in the United States Marine Corps.
Hi, my name is Joshua Burch. We are in my backyard because I can get there with a track chair. Really nice to actually be somewhere other than gravel or pavement or indoors. And this is the first day I've had the track chair, so there's a lot of experimenting to do with it, see where I can take it, how far I can push it. Yeah, I've been looking forward to this day since I heard about it about 3 months ago. The Daughters of the American Revolution contacted me when I was still in the VA, and they told me about the program and that they were selecting people to get it, and luckily I was one of the ones that got selected to get it. They came out, got interviewed, tested out the track chair, and now I got my own track chair. My reaction to it was, I don't know the word to describe it, but it was amazing being able just to go anywhere. I grew up here in Chester, went to school here, and then I didn't want to go to college, so I decided just to go to the Marines. My 2 older brothers are Marines, and my younger brother's a Marine, so it's in the family. And so a firefighter, EMT, stationed in Japan. I got to travel to Thailand and Guam. My job as a firefighter is pretty fun. You get a close brotherhood with everybody. So, of course, I miss all of them now. So, But yeah, it's a tight brotherhood. I was in Guam for 15 days, and then somewhere around the 15 days is where I got injured. Well, after the injury, I went to the hospital in Guam for about maybe 12 hours and flew to Hawaii where I got my surgeries. And then about a month after that, I flew here. Well, I go out on the weekends with my fiance. She lives in Richmond. So Richmond's, of course, it's a big city. There's a lot to do. So I'll go over there. But now with the Trackchair, I can go to some of the parks. We can go on nature walks and everything. No, I still feel good. I have my fiance, my brothers and sisters. Yeah, they all help me out through everything.
All 4 of our recipients are most deserving and very, very thankful that this project has been done.
Welcome. It is our presentation of the 4 action trackchairs to an active duty military member and veterans of the United States military service. The privilege to raise funds for action trailers has been very dear to my heart. I am thrilled that my Region's project was committed by our chapter members to benefit those who have served our great nation. Let us celebrate those we often call our nation's finest today with joy and gratitude.
The Regents Project Trackchair Committee is a special group of women. All members of the committee gave enormously of their time and talents to bring us to this wonderful celebration. They did the hard work of identifying donors and contacting individuals, organizations, and corporations who believed that a little-known product, an action trackchair, could make a profound difference in the life of someone disabled in the service of our country. I also want to express my appreciation and that of the committee to all of you here today who have supported this project in more ways than I can list. Without you and your efforts, we would not be enjoying this special occasion. To introduce our recipients, I will call on our special angel, Jan Karen. Jan gave us inspiration to charge onward with what for our chapter was a project of size and scope never before attempted.
It's a very great honor and privilege to be here, to be associated in any way with the DAR, whom I admire so much. You women are not afraid of hard work. Thanks especially to these 4 men. There's a sense in which we would not be here if they and others like them had not been there. Sam Bowen was an Army combat medic with Special Forces in Vietnam. He's a recipient of the Purple Heart, having been wounded multiple times with attempting to and succeeding in rescuing others via helicopter. Now 60 years old, Sam lives with the legacy of his wounds in Ruffersville. Then Private Joshua Burch was serving in Guam with the U.S. Marines. His unit had been advised of possible anti-American sentiment. Upon returning to his hotel, he was found to have been beaten by 1 or more people. Josh was left paralyzed from his chest down and with no memory of the incident, which may have been a blessing. Corporal Burch received his promotion while recovering at McGuire Veterans Hospital in Richmond. He hails from Chester, is now 21, and continues to serve in the Marine Corps. Semper Fidelis. Darren Snyder. His knees were severely injured during a training exercise at Camp Pendleton, California. Over the intervening years, his condition has deteriorated, resulting in his confinement to a wheelchair. Darren is 48 and looking good.
I would like to thank the Daughters of the American Revolution for selecting me as a recipient. The chair is unbelievable. You know, just like Josh said, Mag said go out and take it to its limits, and that's what I'm doing with that chair. I'm thrilled, and I just want to thank everyone for selecting me for this, and all the barriers that have been removed because of the chair.
William Bull Durham was with the U.S. Army Armored Regiment when he was shot while serving in Vietnam. Disabilities in his lower back, hips, legs, and knees. Bull suffers from Agent Orange exposure and PTSD. At 67, he's looking good and lives in South Chesterfield.
You ladies have done the most wonderful thing that anybody could ever do. You've given something to us that restores a lot to us. I went out in the backyard the other day for the first time in 10 years, and I got to see my wife's garden. I chased the dog. Y'all chase me. But you ladies are something special. What I did as a soldier came from my background. This is what my father did. Nobody asked me to go in 66, I would. And if called on and given a chance, I'd find a way to do it again. But there's only a few people special enough to be like you. You don't ask for recognition or praise for what you do. You go out and help people. And there's nobody patting you on the back. The thing I'm here to tell you, I'm the one that would pat you on the back because you have restored a lot of my life to me. And I truly appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being here today. And a special thank you to everyone in this room. We each had a part in making this day a true memory, not only for the Albemarle Chapter, DAR, but for our wonderful, wonderful veterans and friends and family. We give you a heartfelt thanks for coming today. Thank you.